Hey there, fourth grade. This is Mr. Campbell. Today we're going to be working on page 101, and this is lesson 3.6. Now, before we get started today, I want to talk to you about what we've been working on in topic 3. We've been focusing on breaking down multiplication problems into some smaller steps. So we've done area model, we've done partial products, and these are just different strategies for ways for you to try these out. Now today, mental math for strategies for multiplication is what the topic is, but we're actually going to do something a little bit different. So we're going to use the numbers from today's lesson, but we're not going to practice those mental strategies. Instead, what I'm going to ask for you to do is take out a piece of paper because we're going to be doing some writing together. Again, we're going to use the numbers and the problems that they have in this topic and this lesson, but we're not going to do the strategies that they want. So if you haven't got here yet, we're on page 101. We're actually going to flip over and get started on page 102. But for today, you need to have a piece of paper, your pencil. Of course, you should have headphones on so you're ready to follow along as well. And let's go ahead and flip over to the back side. All right. So it says, 3 cyclists rode their bikes the distances shown in the table. Use mental math to calculate the total distance Pam and Anna each rode. Now again, we're not going to use the mental math because instead we're going to do a different thing, and this is just called traditional. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and grab my notebook. I hope you've already got your piece of paper. We're going to start right here. So it says we want to do 4 times 325 because Pam rode 325 miles a month for 4 months. So 325 a month means times and then 4 months. All right, that's how we're going to find Pam's. So I'm going to start off right here. Would you grab your pencil with me? We're going to start with 4 times 325. Now, when I do this, I want to start with the larger number on top. It just helps me to keep things kind of organized. So I'm going to start with, you guessed it, 325. And as I write this, I'm making sure that I've got a little bit of space in between each of those. The next thing I do is I take my other multiple. So this is going to be 4. All right. And I'm going to multiply these together. So just like when we do addition, this stacking method right here, this is called putting them into a vertical form instead of horizontal, which is what we had. All right. Now, when we do this, we're going to go place value by place value and times these different parts. All right. So I'm going to start here and I'm going to go with my ones place. And I'm circling this so you can see this is where we're going to start. So 5 times 4. What is 5 times 4? 5, 10, 15, 20. Can I write 20 down here? The answer is no. And just like when we do addition, I can only put 1 digit at the bottom. All right. So if I had the number 20 down here, and I'm going to grab a pencil so I can erase in just a second. If I had written 20 down here, right, the number to the right is going to stay here. The number to the left needs to regroup. So I'm going to erase this, and I'm going to regroup it. I'm going to put my plus 2 up here. Now, this is the part where it can get a little tricky, so stay with me, all right? Next, I'm going to multiply 4 times 2. 4 times 2. Notice that the plus 2 is outside of what I'm multiplying. I'm going to multiply first, then add 2. So 4 times 2 is 8. And then I need to say, well, 8 plus 2. And you can even write it up here because I'm going to put 8 plus 2. 8 plus 2 is 10. So I write my 10 down here. Can I put 10 there? The answer is no, I cannot put 10 there. I can only put 1 digit, and my 0 is that digit. The 1 is going to regroup over here. Now I can say, all right, I've got another one. It's going to be 4 times 3. And I'm circling these just so you can see them, but you don't need to do that. But what's 4 times 3? Well, 4 times 3 is 12. So I'm going to say 12 plus 1 is going to be 13, all right? And when I put my 13 here, all right, well, this 1 can't go there, right? So I've got to regroup it over, but there's nothing to regroup. And if you remember, we've talked before, there's actually zeros going on here forever. So if I actually put one of those zeros and said, well, what's 4 times 0 is 0. 0 plus 1 is 1. So my answer is 1,300 miles. And that's what they got here too. Pam rode 1,300 miles. All right. This is our traditional way. All right. Now this next time, I'm not going to circle all these different parts. We're just going to try multiplying this next one without that. But let's go ahead and check out what's our next one. It says we're going to find out how many Anna rode. And it says 25 miles a week for 8 weeks. So 25 miles 1 week, and then 25 miles the next week for 8 times. 8 times 25. All right, 8 times 25 is what we're going to solve for this one. All right, so let's go ahead and write out our problem. I told you before, start on top with the bigger number. And this one has 1 place value, the ones place. This has tens and ones. So I'm going to start by writing 25. And then that 8 goes underneath my ones place, and boom, now I am ready to multiply. 8 times 5. What is 8 times 5? Well, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Can I write 40 here? No, right? The answer is no. I can't put that 40 there. What I do is I keep my 0 here, though, and my plus 4 comes up here. It's kind of fun. When we do addition, usually it's only just plus 1 regroupings, but when we do this, we get some bigger numbers like 4. 8 times 2. What's 8 times 2? 8 times 2 is 16, and 16 plus 4 is 20. All right. Now I see there's nothing left over here, so when that plus 2 comes over, I know there's nothing here for it, so it actually just drops down. So what is 25 times 8? It's 200. So Anna rode 200 miles. All right. We've got one more, and I'm going to go ahead and flip this around to give me a little bit more space again. And it says George rode 398 miles a month for 3 months. All right. So we're going to take 398 times 3. Let's go ahead and write that. So we've got 398 times 3. All right. And I'm going to go ahead and move this right to the middle so you've got this. If you haven't been writing these down with me, please make sure you do that right now. We're going to go through this, and we don't have many more before you're going to practice this on your own. All right. So really try to focus in right here and see how we can solve this type of problem. All right. So we've got 8 times 3. Well, 8 times 3. And again, if you're not exactly sure, make sure you find a way to figure out what these multiplication problems are. But 8 times 3, we've got 8, 16, 24. Can I write 24 here? No, I cannot. I got to take this 2 and bring it over as a regroup. So plus 2. Now I'm going to say 3 times 9. 3 times 9 is 27. But I have that plus 2. So I say 27 plus 2. Well, that's 29. Can I put 29 here? No. I've got to regroup this 2 again. Man, that 2 just keeps on moving, doesn't it? All right. My 2 comes over. 3 times 3 is 9. And then I need to add 2. Well, 9 plus 2 is 11. But I got to regroup this extra 1 to a new place value. And when I do that, I've got 3 times 0 is 0. So 0 plus 1 is 1. So that means George rode 1,194. Now, in the original question, it was asking how much they each rode. And so we had to solve each one of those in order for us to get there. That's how we do it. All right. You go place value by place value. Now, if you're sitting there and going, you know what, Mr. Campbell, I really liked the area model, or I really liked partial products when we were working on those the last few days, that's okay. But what's really important is to make sure that we just keep on practicing these different ways, all right? So we're going to go ahead and take a look at page 103. All right. And I'm going to ask you to solve number 2. All right, number 2. So 8 times 903. This is going to be the last one we practice together. And then I'm going to have you do these other ones on your own. But let's go ahead and try out number 2. I'm going to ask you to pause your video and try to solve number 2, which is 8 times 903. Pause the video and do that now. All right, if you haven't tried out number 2, do it right now. I'm going to grab a new piece of paper. I'm going to write 903 times, and what was my 8, right? So 903 times 8. And then I'm going to say, well, what's 8 times 3? 8, 16, 24. But I can't put 24 there, so I got to erase my 2 and regroup it. It's going to come over here. Then I say, what's 8 times 0? Well, 8 times 0, anything times 0 is 0. So what's 0 plus 2? It's 2. All right. And now my last one is 8 times 9. This one's tricky because it's a pretty big number, but 8 times 9 is going to be 72. 72. Can I write 72 here? No, I've got to regroup that 7 to a new place value, and there's nothing there. So plus 7, 8 times 0 is 0, plus 7 is 7. All right, so our answer for 8 times 903 was 7,224. Now, as you come down here to your independent practice, you're going to go ahead and practice those same steps just like we were doing. You're going to start in the ones place, multiply the tens place, multiply the hundreds place, and it looks like we even get up to thousands place here. All right, but go ahead. So don't worry about writing down which strategy you used. I want you practicing traditional on these. All right, you can go ahead and skip number 3, skip number 4. So skip those 2, but the last problems that are right down here, 5 through 10, go ahead and try solving those. All right, 4th grade, that's all that we've got for today. I hope you guys have a great rest of the day, and we will see you next time. Have a good one.